One of the biggest challenges I'm hearing from customers these days is AI. Their C-level people are asking, what are we going to do? And everybody else is scratching their head. So if you are a CIO, a chief information security officer, a privacy person, a business person, you're all going there. What do we do with this? How do we use it? And a part of it is AI just exploded on the scene in a few months, right? It has expanded so much more significantly than anything we have ever seen historically. And so all of us are a little bit blindsided by it. So what do you do? How does this make sense? How do you assimilate it in your organization and really leverage it to transform? One of the things I saw with most successful customers, particularly at Salesforce, was how they approached these things. They always started with a very small proof of concept for a real world use case. And that is something that is inherently missing with a lot of cool demos that you see. They're not real world enough, and often they're not small enough to be tried and tested and make sure that it can work for you. But anyway, if you start with something really small, then you can validate if it really meets that requirement and define a scope around it. I like to say that iterations are a gift of God to humanity. And it's really that. Once you've done a small proof of concept, a pilot, something that's small enough but validates your real world use cases, you can then build a case reasonable enough for a few of your business processes. They may not be mission critical, but still things, writing email responses generated by AI that someone can look at and edit them, for example, summarizing cases, summarizing opportunities, summarizing accounts, giving an account 360 view of things, stuff like that, right? Really simple, basic use cases, nothing phenomenally earth shattering, but still incredible amount of value to cut out the grunt work that your folks have to do. Anyway, once you've done that and you've established a little bit of a foundational use case, you can expand on that foundation, run it across your organization, do more mission critical processes, more sort of important, larger processes, bring things in, optimize them. So by doing a small POC and then jumping to something larger, you've also given the organization enough experience with it, right? People have learned, they understand what prompts are, they understand the usability challenges, they get the sense of, is it really working well? They have kind of tweaked it, optimized it a little bit. Then your foundation comes in. And as you're building on these larger business use cases, business processes, automation, improving efficiencies, productivity, things like that, what you're also doing is you're highlighting the value to the business. And that's what I've seen a lot of customers do. Really smart business people, smart business analysts, program managers, project managers, architects take this approach. And once the business gets enough value, then they're happy to pour more fuel on this fire. And then what you do is you start from this foundation and you scale. And as these processes get incorporated, AI becomes more of a way of life. Maybe you have one AI, maybe you have a bunch of them from different partners that are all addressing different use cases, right? And so what you've now done is you've gone from that foundation to a scale. And as AI becomes a part of life, like how we have today, maybe BI or mobile applications or core tools or CRMs, right? All of them are very, very tightly integrated. They are a significant portion of your enterprise landscape. And the same thing then happens with AI, right? It gets incorporated into the organization. So once that has happened, then the next part of it is transformation. And what you see is that on top of your foundation and scale, you can now actually build products and services. You can build dramatically different customer experiences that can even change and evolve your business model. And that is the real transformation that happens. I personally think for most organizations, that transformation is a bit away, but there's really no reason why you cannot start with a basic POC, a basic prototype, a pilot, and actually start doing some tiny foundational cases. We started GPTfy with exactly that mentality, that customers can start with something really simple, very, very quickly. It's not elaborate. It's not rocket science. Solve a real world problem of theirs. And then as they find more value in it, they can then expand. So that's the approach we are taking. Curious how you're going down this AI journey. And if you have any thoughts, would love to hear them. Thank you so much.